Over on Viaplay, arrived on Monday the 10th of March, we have Like Tears in Rain, which is a documentary about the actor Rutger Hauer, and here is a clip.
Rutger Hauer escaped from Soviet.
He's one of the few people in my life that I was never concerned about. Like, I could tell him anything, or he could tell me anything.
When Rutger walked out on set, everything went quiet.
Thank you very much. It's, I can't think of a more memorable birthday.
Well, of course, Hannah, anyone who wants to do an impression of the actor Rutger Hauer, and why wouldn't you, quotes that line from Blade Runner in which he plays a replicant, and he makes this speech as he's dying in the pouring rain, where he says all these moments will be lost like tears in rain. So this is a story all about Rutger, and I have to say, and it's a lot of home movie footage. He loved filming things, and unfortunately, it says at the beginning of the documentary, he lost his massive archive in a flood, which is a terrible shame. But there's still quite a lot of stuff, and it's a very domestic tale, really. His wife is in it. He was really closely involved with his best friend, whose wife is his wife's sister. So they used to hang out together, and the other couple had 2 kids, and Rutger absolutely doted on them. So there's lots of footage of them just hanging out as friends. He loved travel, he loved adventure, he loved motorbikes, and it hints that he had a slightly problematic upbringing, but you don't get many details. He looks like a movie star, which is what someone says in this. He oozes charisma, but interestingly, you don't get the impression that he enjoyed, especially film acting, that much, because obviously it took him away from Holland and from his wife. And often when he was on set, he would just he'd take this massive RV with him, and he wouldn't hang out with the cast and crew. He'd just go and go in his caravan and stay there. But yeah, there's quite a few celebrity contributors in this. He was quite friendly with Whoopi Goldberg, which I didn't realise. Yeah, there's a few big names, and he got a big break. I think his first big break in Hollywood was in a film called Nighthawks with Sylvester Stallone. He'd been in some sort of period dramas in his home country, and he works a little bit with the director Paul Verhoeven, who is also interviewed. So, but apparently, he could come across as quite a sort of brooding presence who didn't really say much. But I just, watching this, you just think, oh, I wish I'd been friends with Rutger Hauer. He's just like the coolest guy ever. A really nice portrait of a much missed actor who everyone has nice things to say about. And you don't really hear much about, for instance, Blade Runner and the making of that and his part in that. That's only a very short sequence. It's very much his story, his personal life, and especially his marriage. He's absolutely devoted to his wife. So yeah, I love Rutger Hauer anyway. I love Blade Runner, and I loved this. What did you think, Hannah?
Well, it's like all these kind of documentaries, you just find out so much you didn't already know. And I've got to be honest with you, my knowledge of Rutger Hauer is slim to nil. So all of it was fairly new to me. But you're absolutely right. He's kind of brooding. It's like he is absolutely somebody that you'd want to be mates with, isn't he? He's just totally cool. And I'd imagine a real presence. Everybody that talks about him, including Whoopi Goldberg, although having said that, she actually says that he's somebody you could talk to, and that he could talk to her, and there was nothing off limits. It wasn't sort of frightening to. But then in other instances, you got the sense that when he walked on set, you stood in line because the godly one was there. And I can't remember who it was who was interviewed who said that he's the best actor to come out of the Netherlands and always will be. He's just absolutely brilliant. So you absolutely learn something new. It's really interesting. And for somebody like me, if you're like me that didn't know a huge amount, you'll come away knowing an awful lot more. And as you say, a lot of celebrity pals, a lot of unseen footage too, which I think is which is really nice, isn't it? Because it brings somebody to life really outside of the stage, which is nice.